We talked not too long about OpenAI's Sam Altman, his WorldCoin project, where he said AI will take jobs and will require a UBI system for the unemployment, the mass unemployment that's going to come from it. And then he talked about how his WorldCoin project could fill that role. And his WorldCoin project is broken down into three systems. They got the WorldCoin token, which is like your digital coin system. Then he's got the the World Wallet where you hold your money and your ID and stuff in. Then he's got the World ID system. This World ID system is getting interesting. This thing is getting interesting. Part of that system, like I said, is the World ID, which is a digital ID that contains a scan of your retina to verify you're not AI, that's how they put it, and to verify your identity. Again, are you seeing the phrase verify a lot? This is going right along with it. So yeah, to sign up for this thing, to get involved with the World ID, you have to get your iRetina scanned. Sam Altman has raised almost $100 million in funding on this project, for which includes an orb that scans people's eyes to lock in your biometric retina and attach it to your World ID. Take a look at this thing. This is the World Coin orb. Do you see that thing he's holding? It's like a big silver ball. OpenAI CEO raising $100 million to scan every eyeball on Earth. Stare into the orb. That thing is crazy. That's straight sci-fi. I mean, that's something out of a movie. And what you do is you just get people to stare into it, and it'll scan the eye. Now, so far, this orb has been circulating mainly third world and developing countries. Of course, they're going for the poorer countries to start with. And in March alone, roughly 40,000 people scanned into the WorldCoin orb, with a total of roughly 1.4 million eyes already scanned. Now, this project has been around since 2019. And they went public in 2021, but just recently they started doing this orb thing. So this isn't something that, they only got 1.4 since 2019. No, they just recently started doing this, and they're scanning a lot of eyeballs. Now, why are so many people doing it? Well, it's bribery. The catch is they are bribing people to sign up by offering them a free 25 WorldCoin tokens if they do so. So if you scan your eye and you sign up for this thing, you're automatically ready to get your 25 WorldCoin tokens when it comes online. So when we look at how CBDC could be introduced, I could definitely see a bribe factor being put in place before mandatory. I mean, think about it. You could totally see the government coming out and saying, we are now offering CBDC, digital wallet, digital ID, however you want to put it, a Fed coin. We'll just say Fed coin. We're offering this. We're not going to force anybody. This is a voluntary thing if you'd like to go ahead and start it. And if you sign up early, we'll give you 50 Fed coin. And then they can say, oh, well, we're not getting enough people. Well, if you sign up early now, we'll give you 1,000 Fed coin. And they'll up it to get the amount of people that they want on board for that period of time. And then what they'll do is they'll just pull the plug and say, well, we're now at the point where if you don't sign up for this, you are now going to lose your bank account and you're going to be cut off from all of society. So I could totally see the system where they're going to start bribing people ahead of time, like what Sam Altman is doing here. Sign up early, scan your life away and get 25 free tokens. I could definitely see this happening more in like the United States, Canada, Mexico, Europe, and all the places. Of course, we're already seeing places like China where they're getting ready to start. I have a feeling they're going to get ready to start doing the mandatory thing here soon. But this is crazy. This is crazy, guys. This WorldCoin thing, this World ID, This is interesting because, like I said before, when I was talking about it a couple weeks ago, we could definitely see a combination of these things come together to form this stuff. And as far as scanning eyes, as far as this orb thing goes with scanning retinas and whatnot, you can also look at this as a way of predictive programming because we've seen something very similar in the Minority Report. Check this out.
A road diverges in the desert. Lexus. The road you're on, John Anderton, is the one less traveled. Make sure you follow
Good evening. You can move the old-fashioned John Anderton. Provides gourmet cuisine. John Anderton. You can use a Guinness right about now. Stressed out, John Anderton.
Escape from it all, Harrison. Get away, John Anderton. Forget your troubles. What's so, John Anderton?
Yeah. So you can see in that movie as he's walking through this, it's scanning his retina. You can see the flash on his eyes. Those little cameras are scanning his retinas, and he's connected to an ID. So by them scanning the eye, they know his name is John Anderton. So as he's walking through, all these advertisement billboards were saying, John Anderton, why don't you do this? John Anderton, why don't you do this? And so it's already got that system in place, and we're starting to see something similar to this. I mean, we're starting to see it move in that direction. So, I mean, this is predictive programming is starting to come alive when it comes to scanning eyes specifically. The biometric scanners are everywhere, scanning your eyes, which track your every move, and advertisements will even directly feed you those personalized commercials. We're already seeing a form of that with online ads. Okay, so how many of you people have, you were searching for something online, and say you were looking for like a coffee pot or something like that, and then a week later you sign into a social media platform, we'll just say Facebook, you sign into Facebook, and you start seeing advertisements for coffee makers. I don't know about you guys, but when I had Facebook, when I had that stuff, I would see it all the time. I'd be searching for something specific, and then when I went on social media and whatnot, the advertisements were basically, hey, we know, because we're watching and tracking your search history, we know that that's what you're looking for. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. Phone is always listening. Now, this one's even more freaky. This one's even more freaky because I have seen this happen where we were, me and a couple other people were having a conversation, and we were talking. What were we talking about? I think we were talking about, I don't remember. This was a couple years ago. We were talking about something, and we were having a conversation. It was multiple of us here, and nobody had their phone out. It was just in their pocket. And then my buddy, he said the next time he went on social media, the thing that we were talking about popped up as an advertisement on his Facebook feed, even though he never searched for it. It just took the conversation that we were having. It registered that subject, and then it still offered him an advertisement based on it, even though he never searched for it. So these things are always listening to us in that type of way too. And then you've got, of course, your social media stuff. The more you search for things, it'll keep popping up. Even something like your YouTube recommendations. It will pay attention. It will track. It will learn what you're watching, and then it will recommend videos based on those subjects. It's always watching and tracking and learning you as you go. Well, all of that we're seeing now that isn't attached to our eyes, that's what's being displayed in the Minority Report. It's just attached to his eyes. So as he's walking through, everything is getting personalized. Personalized ads. It knows who he is. Well, we're seeing a version of that that's just not quite attached to our eyes yet. It's going to happen. Because when we start scanning our eyes into things and we have an ID built on it, that's going to be attached to our history that we're spending online. And we're going to start seeing the same thing in the Minority Report. The AI algorithm systems that learn your likes, dislikes, political and religious associations, what you're looking for, or even what you've talked about. It learns all that, it tracks all that, and it attaches it to your profile. Even more than that, we're seeing things like inferred identity now on Twitter. This is ridiculous. Inferred identity. Allow Twitter to personalize your experience with your inferred activity, such as activity on devices you haven't used to log into Twitter. Personalized based on your identity. Twitter will always personalize your experience based on information you've provided, as well as the devices that you've used to log in. When this setting is enabled, Twitter may also personalize based on other inferences about your identity, like devices and browsers you haven't used to log into Twitter, or email addresses and phone numbers similar to those linked to your Twitter account. It's talking about finding devices, browsers, emails, and phone numbers that you haven't attached to Twitter, and then personalizing that data of you on there. That's what that's talking about. So basically, they are plugging into devices and browsers that you haven't logged into with Twitter to extract your information from those two. How it does that, I have no idea. Again, is it based on the information that it's given you, that it's created an ID in Twitter, and then it scans and searches for things that ID is attached to? I don't know, but this is getting insane to the point where now they're starting to something like Twitter, which we know is going to become the X app, which is trying to be the everything app. It's trying to be the global WeChat, where everything is going to be connected to it. It's already creating this ID system. It's already trying to gain access into devices and browsers and all of your information that you haven't allowed Twitter to access. It's trying to get into all of that. It's getting ridiculous. And to be fair, I mean, when you look at all this stuff, I mean, just all of the things that we just talked about, all the different technology and verification systems, the biometric stuff, your history, your ID, everything. When you look at that, these programs are connecting together, again, predictive programming, to create a matrix-like system. And I know that gets tossed around a lot. I know when it comes to talking about this stuff, the matrix has kind of become a cliche and all that stuff, but just, I mean, reality, this is what it's becoming. If you want to look at the matrix, I mean, the backbone of that is AI has taken over, has plugged all of humanity into a metaverse matrix world, and the human body is used as batteries to power the AI system. I mean, to be honest, we're seeing a lot of stuff very similar to that. We've got AI coming out like they are. It's gaining momentum, gaining speed. We know that's going to be possessed by demonic intelligence if it hasn't already been. Then you look at the fact of they're trying to create a 6G network where we become antennas and power things with our bodies. You're talking about creating a human battery at this point. There's been talk of the metaverse and plugging people into that type of stuff. This is reality. This is what we're seeing now. And a 1999 movie, again, you've got to start thinking, okay, was this just an accident that they created something, or was this actually something that they knew was going to happen and they put it out for us to see, which that would be predictive programming. And that's kind of where I lean on this stuff. This is what's going on. And when we get back to the Minority Report, we see that they create a black market for eyeball replacement. So the eye scanners believe that you're someone else, and they will not, the authorities will not be able to track you. So in the Minority Report, there's actually black market dealers for eyeballs and black market doctors who will do eye surgery and replace eyes. So when you're walking through, the eye scanner will believe that you're somebody else. And we see this, again, we just saw the first clip where it was John Anderton. That was actually him. Well, after he has eye surgery, he becomes somebody else.
Yakamoto. Welcome back to the Gap. How those assorted tank tops work out for you?
Mr. Yakamoto.
So yeah, he had the eye surgery and he was John Henderson, but now the eye scanner believes that he is Mr. Yakamoto. And so when you look at that, I mean, if your ID is attached to your retina like that, that's the only way around it at that point if you need to get off the grid in some type of way. It's getting crazy. So with this World ID system, they want something similar to where your eyes will be tracked at all times. And we see this with the biometric scans in apps and your public housing and your verification systems and your smart city systems. Everything is going in that direction. And they want to attach your eye to your digital ID, and that's what the World ID system is pushing as far as that. Now we know that the Bible ultimately tells us that the final form will be the mark of the beast, and it'll be on the right hand and the forehead, or the forehead. So that's going to be the final form. We know that. That doesn't mean that these eye scanners won't play a part in the tracking of people and is connected to the ID system. So there's nothing stopping it from being, well, even if you have the mark, there's still not going to be eye scanners always there tracking you as you go through. But the mark is what we know will be the final form of it, of buy and sell. And that mark, of course, is going to be a DNA altering system that will cut you off from salvation. We know that's going to break that human bloodline to make it so you can't be saved, because you have to be 100% human in order to be saved by Christ's sacrifice. And so when that mark of the beast rolls around, it's going to alter, it's going to change, it's going to cut that off. So the moment you make allegiance and you accept that mark of the beast and pledge your allegiance again to the Antichrist, that's why there's no going back. You're cut off because it's going to alter your DNA. You will not be human anymore, and you will not fall under the ability to be saved by Christ's sacrifice. We talk